Uh, Hello, everybody. It's Monday. No Man Cave Monday this time. But it may not be about sports, but we still have a topic tonight that's probably going to cater more toward the men today. As today is the funeral for Nolan Wells. Rest in peace, by the way. And today we're about to talk about tonight why Nolan Wells should serve as a warning for MLS men. Because I feel like this is a conversation that we haven't really ever had before. DJ Jones, I always count on. But as I was saying, I don't think we as MLS men have ever had just a conversation about how we should be floating in spaces nowadays, especially with the racial climate and the way all these racial issues have spiked. Racial relations seem to be on pretty shaky grounds right now, if you ask me. And I feel like when it comes to the conversation about black men in particular, light skinned black men seem to kind of get the short end of the stick when it comes to these conversations. And I feel like in situations like this is where MLS men would be the most vulnerable, considering the fact that a lot of times a lot of MLS men come from black male, white female interracial relationships, which usually puts mixed men in the most vulnerable of states, especially if they're born in the South. What happened to Nolan Wells should serve as a warning. A warning that MLS men, we have to be very, very careful how we float in certain spaces. And I know the conversations are pretty much now like, oh, this is what happens when you're around white or too many white people. This is what you guys get when you're around too many white people and all this other stuff. And I guess in a way I could see where they're coming from. But here's the thing. Don't let black people gaslight you into thinking that if you live around a bunch of black people, particularly dark skinned black people, that we're all just going to be Barney, I love you, you love me, we're a happy family, with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too? No, 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 no. But because let's be honest, for all of my most loyal subscribers, I think you guys know how I feel about this situation. Because the thing about living in black communities as an MLS man, this is the most dangerous thing about it. If you happen to be a victim of gun violence or whatever other violence happens to you, here's the problem: it doesn't make the news. That's the problem. See, Nolan Wells, as bad as this situation is, at the very least, at least this situation is at the forefront, and these people will be dealt with accordingly. But as far as the black community is concerned, if you're an MLS man and you get killed by a black man, particularly a dark skinned black man, you'll be lucky if it even makes the local news. You just become cannon fodder at that point. It's like, oh well, just another black man killing a black man, right? Next. And the problem is with a lot of MLS men is a lot of us have been taught, unfortunately, that we live in a colorblind society. And as much as we all want to admit that that is true, it's not. It's just not. Trust me, I would love to sit up here on this platform and say that that's the truth, but it's not. It just isn't. And yes, a lot of black men and white women, for that matter, set MLS men up for failure. Because let's be honest, a lot of black men never really take into consideration the environment that they raise a lot of these MLS men to be in. And the problem is that these conversations don't really happen too often. Most of the time, when we hear about MLS men, we hear about the good old light skin privilege. Oh, you guys just, you can float in white spaces better than we can. Oh, the white man treats you better. Blah, 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 blah. And that's why a lot of situations like the situation with Nolan Wells, because Nolan Wells obviously looks to be a darker skin. Oh, how you doing, Blaze? Yes, yes. Thank you, Blaze. And that's exactly what I was going to say. Nolan Wells obviously is a blazing griff. And there actually are quite a few examples of a lot of MLS men that have been victims of these same situations in these mostly all white neighborhoods. And as much as I know black people are going to love to say, oh, that's what you get for being around white people, but make no mistake about it. A lot of black people kill MLS men. Well, okay, I gotta be. A lot of black people delete MLS men just as much. Well, honestly, let's be honest, twice as more as white people do. And tonight we're about to discuss how MLS men, what we need to watch out for when we're in these spaces, what we need to watch out for with friends, family, I mean, even jobs. Because nowadays, if you guys haven't noticed already, and I've been talking about this for years, being attractive, being an attractive man nowadays already puts you in a bad spot. Because I know there's a lot of people that love to say, I know this new thing going around is, oh, pretty privilege, which for one, that doesn't even apply to men in the slightest. And two, Blasian says the black community on social media mad. He said he is blazing that Filipino flag emoji. Well, I could tell he was MLS the second I seen him. Like I know a lot of them are trying to blackfish his mom, but I could tell that his mom was Philip. Like, there's not too many black people with hair like that. I know that might trigger some people, but no, it's pretty obvious that Nolan Wells is a mixed race man. Was a mixed race man. Very similar to Dylan Harper. I don't know if you guys have seen Dylan Harper, who plays for the San Antonio Spurs. His mom is very similar to Nolan Wells' mom. And here's the problem: black men can interracially date as much as their heart desires, but the problem is that a lot of them are just setting MLS men up for failure. They are. They do not teach their sons what they have to worry about in today's racial climate. They never have. Today's community fashion, we're about to pull up some videos. As we currently are speaking, his funeral is going on.
Coast. Trayston Shepard declined to speak with us on camera because he says he and his friends are getting threats.
We did no wrong here, and we don't understand how we're getting so much hate behind it. We all cared and loved Nolan, and nobody wanted to see Nolan die. Nobody wanted to see his life be taken so short.
Shepard addressed this viral video that investigators have been studying. Wells's parents worried it showed confrontation, but Shepard said that's him, not Wells.
The video I mentioned that
Afternoon, but Wells stayed behind with a girl he had met.
They met that day, and it was kind of one of those things. It did come off that day that he really did like her, but that was the only time they'd ever hung out, was at Horn Island on July 4th.
Investigators believe from the very spot.
And this is why I say you have to be very careful, because at the end of the day, regardless of what people say, when it comes down to women, yeah, And I remember hearing a video about somebody, I believe it was from the Angry Man, where he was talking about even in kindergarten, a lot of the younger guys got along well until one thing happened. They brought the younger girls around. See, we can get along just fine, but once you bring women into the mix, that's when a lot of guys get a lot more territorial. And make no mistake about it, for one, I'm no detective, but I know for a fact that whoever this girl is probably had a big reason to do with why Nolan Wells is not here today. Maybe not her fault intentionally, but it has something to do with. Indeed, no, like see, you don't let black people gaslight you into believing that you're just going to be. Because when I hear these conversations, yes, I will admit it is very dangerous having MLS men in these small towns, racist southern towns. Yes, I will admit that wholeheartedly. You will not hear me debunk that fact. But the problem I have with these conversations is it's just very, very misleading and gaslighting to say the least. Because there is no place on planet Earth that is more dangerous for an MLS man to be than the community. Because when you're deleted in the community, a lot of the Al Sharptons or Benjamin Crumps of the world, they're gonna turn their heads. You'll be lucky if you even make your local news, and if you do, you'll be like a 5 minute section at best. There's not going to be. You may get lucky and maybe end up on a first 48 episode or a forensic files episode, but as far as that's concerned, that's about the only notoriety you're going to get. And this is a conversation that we as MLS men need to start having. We have to start teaching the younger generations of MLS men right now. We have to teach our sons, nephews, we have to start teaching them what to look out for when you find yourself in situations like this. My advice would be honestly that not if you're in like a town like this, I would please urge you to just move. Move. Because these relations are not improving anytime soon. Especially nowadays where we live in a time where evil is at an all-time high. Indeed, Brian. Yes, because that is another problem that we're dealing with here. Well, Blasian, that is exactly why I say that a lot of interracial couples nowadays are very, very misguided and very misleading when it comes to how mixed race children should be getting raised. You're just setting them up for failure when you place them in environments like this. Because trust me, I've been floating around and I've been in both sides, and I must tell it's not really a good situation to be on either side. Don't let black people gaslight you into believing that, oh, you're going to be so much. That is bull crap. Well, I guess that's debatable, bro. I can't really argue with that. Well, yeah, if he was a like racially ambiguous dude, then I could agree. I don't think it wouldn't it wouldn't get nearly as much attention as it is. Brother AMR, how's it going? Oh yes, Blazing. We still most definitely have it. I think the problem is a lot of these like internet groups are really social media has really created monsters. As nice as it is to have platforms like these that you can share like your input on certain topics, there's a lot of echo chambers nowadays that are created. And a lot of these people are very, very bold and very evil. Let me see. Sorry, technical difficulty. Brian says colorism is the conversation nobody wants to have. It's part of the problem. We want to separate ourselves from either side in a race war. I think in terms of like the colorism conversation, I think a lot of people really get just hung up on the fact that a lot of people still believe in light skin privilege. It's amazing to me that we're in the big 2026 and there are still people that actually believe that foolishness. But yet here we are. And I think the problem is we still don't really have enough voices that are going to tell the truth. For one, they're either too scared, or two, they just know that they're just going to get gaslit to hell and back and just stop.
An independent investigation, so much so because this happened in the Mississippi.
Yeah.
There are some racial undertones to this. He was the only Black kid on an island full of kids that were white.
It's always
And
the
his
South.
family is saying that he would have never stayed on the island and been left behind by his friends. There were 3 boys with him that were good friends with
Well, what
him.
are they saying?
And they turned off their social media accounts. They say that they have cooperated with the police, but they kept his phone and didn't have her friends.
Yeah.
So if you come back with someone else's phone and you know that they're missing, why would you not call the parents immediately? Kudos to Colin. That it can be independent, and Tyler Perry is paying for his funeral.
Yeah.
Ben Crump, the
Ostracism is very strong. How's it going, RTGP? You know, I believe this is an area that I think RGT has talked about as well. Tribalism. This is just tribalism at its best. I think it's fairly obvious what happened here. He was the only quote unquote black kid on a bunch of rich white kids, and they were mad that this obvious white girl was into him, and they responded in the heat of the moment and more or less probably took his life. And I'm sure there are probably countless, if not hundreds, if not thousands more situations like this in regards to MLS, man. Because for whatever reason, they're very territorial with us when it comes to women. And yes, black men do as well. Don't. I've been on the internet a lot lately, and I've been seeing a lot of black men that have really been piggybacking off of the way black women have been emasculating us still. A lot of them get off on the idea of us getting emasculated and humiliated. How's your night going, AMR?
Nah, so far so good, man. How about yourself?
Well, so far so good. Hoping my internet works good for this stream. I've been having a couple of internet problems lately.
Oh, it happens to us all. But yeah, though, yeah, I was
Yeah,
listening to
all
a
my
little bit of
streams.
what you were saying though.
Yeah, I feel like all my streams start off well, and it just seems like once I hit that hour mark, it just seems like I don't know, a StreamYard just starts struggling after a while to keep it up. But I've heard a lot of people have been having problems with it.
Hey, but you know what though? Even for me, like and I'm pretty sure you heard get the live stream that Malala Mindset had with Gigi, where they was talking and I guess having, exchanging the dialogue between each other. Disagreements are gonna have it's gonna come here and there. So it does have to start. It does gotta start somewhere.
Watching the situation a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that things have kind of settled down with those two because
Hey, but for the Nolan Wells thing though, like nobody shouldn't really have to lose anyone, especially like that, especially when you're with friends or your so-called friends.
well, from what I've heard, a lot of his friends he was a very well-to-do man and a well-to-do family, but a lot of his friends seem to have parents that are judges, lawyers, and all that stuff. Yeah, that's a pretty dangerous territory because I think it's well known that a lot of those lawyers' kids can get away with just about anything and everything. I usually get a slap on the wrist.
Oh yeah, pretty much like what's going on with well, who was it with Carmelo Anthony and what's those kids? What's those dudes' names again?
I think
You know who
Austin
I'm talking.
Metcalf.
Yeah, the Metcalf. Yeah,
Yeah,
the Metcalf boys. And you know what though, and the thing even with that too, right? See, I'm on Facebook and I'm looking at comments that people were leaving, not only with that situation, but also with the situation about what was going on with Roy Chow, that Asian dude, and then in that store talking about how this is another oh, he's another modern day George Zimmerman. I'm like, you people are disgusting. Y'all
okay.
didn't know the boy from a can of paint and already. This is how you start off. That really and it really let me know exactly who they are and what they believe.
The funny thing about that whole situation is that whole situation just seems to have flew right over a lot of people's heads. Like a lot of people don't even know his name.
Right?
The only reason I know about it is because of basically this space. Like I would have never known if I was going by what the news or what the black community was saying.
Well, and that's the thing too, because I don't even watch cable television news. Like I don't even have cable. I get my news from non-biased channels that'll report the news a lot better than the national news does. And even with some of the people, the black people that may report on this, um, some can be genuine, but then you do have to be careful when it comes to them reporting on things, because it's easy, especially when if it does involve us as MLS people. And shout outs also to Globe Light, because he had a live stream yesterday and he said something along the lines about how some of the videos that he don't really post because it really will expose a lot of people and how they really think and feel, and that they actually would do this. About how they really want to see MLS men, pretty much be at their death or their demise. Their Asian
Blazing
girl
said that there was an Asian girl that went to Brazil with her white friend, and her white friend let her drown.
and did nothing close to
I
Nolan
believe
West.
it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, what's going on, Blasian? Yeah, it's been a long time. Yeah, they would yeah. See, here's the thing though, because you remember who was that girl that drowned in that went missing in Aruba? Oh yeah, Natalie Holloway. Oh, everybody came white knighting and came
You're
with
talking
the
about that?
yeah, that one white girl, the one that girl that went missing because she met a dude in Aruba and he ended up killing her.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that story.
I don't even think I still don't even remember like what happened afterwards. If he got sent up for a long time or or I'm not sure how that case played
I
out.
think I think in the case of like a lot of these boat trips, I would tell a lot of people, especially if you're like an MLS person or a black person, period, at least have you like a group of like five. I don't mean just one other person. I mean like five, at least five people that you know and can trust.
Yeah. Unfortunately, sometimes American born Chinese, Koreans, and others get too caught up and forget they have their own unique ethnic background. That, oh, yeah, because, and they all fall into
Absolutely.
that false assimilation, thinking that they were gonna, try to fit in with the same group that they love praising. And it's like, no, no.
Well,
And so now
I
they're
would say
starting.
in their case, the women are way worse. The women are a lot worse with that than the men. And the men are pretty bad too, but the women, oh my goodness.
And I also think too, it also comes down to how they were raised as well. Because a lot of them do say that, oh, I was raised this way, and they come from families that share something that's not pleasant when it comes to other groups. Certainly because they want to assimilate.
See, I'll say that one thing about like my upbringing per se was when I was younger, I I mostly grew up in a mostly like black culture and black community, and then I moved to like another state. I think I may have told you guys this, but when I moved to that state, it was a bit of like a culture shock to me because where I was at, it was just probably one of the most multicultural places I had ever been to.
Right.
Like it was like I think the thing about it was just so many. I'm talking like 1 second, whites, Asians, Indians, blacks, Arabians, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans. I would say like situations like that, those are kind of like the best places to be as like an MLS person because you're not really forced to have to identify and like put yourself in like a certain box. I've noticed like in a lot of cases, like a lot of these like MLS people that are either in mostly white or black neighborhoods always seem to have problems
Pretty much here in America.
because they're forced to have to assimilate. So the majority is always going to win.
Yep. Absolutely. And when it comes to these identity politics where you have people who are non-MLS thinking that they can try to come in and thinking that they can just force a decision down your throat and speak and do things. It's like, no, like you don't speak for me. Because simply it's like they want to gatekeep black. It's like, okay, fine. You can have it. But at the same time, though, don't force everybody else's opinions down. Don't force your opinion down my throat or vice versa. Because I'm not playing this. So you need to choose a side. Only when it benefits you. MLS men or even MLS women don't really sort of don't really get the final say like that to the extent that I know. As a matter of fact, right before you went live, there was also some things that I was thinking about, even for me as a MLS man.
Oh,
Um, oh, go ahead.
Oh, what'd you say? Your mic was kind of breaking up a little bit.
Okay. I was saying how there was some things right before you went on. I had to also think about, even my upbringing as well, and how I go out in the world and I socialize to the best of to the best that I possibly could. And again, and I guess even for and again, and anybody here, even in the chat, y'all could probably attest to this too. We're gonna check certain boxes, not because of anything that we did terrible, or people look at you and discuss, and they don't even have to like really know you, and they already got it set. They're set and stuck in their ways. Like, oh, you did something to them because of how you look. Um, Again, like you also got to deal with people that's either these one droppers, these interlopers, people playing both sides of the fence, people thinking that they're on your side when really they're just waiting to make sure that you go down while they pick up the mantle. And even racially, you'll get put in the black category, you'll get put in the mixed biracial NGM category. Like you check all these boxes anyway, or even the Hispanic category to some extent.
Well, Asian said that the experience of white people in the Midwest are very racist and class. Yeah, they it can get pretty bad up here, especially if you go like further up north.
Oh
In like
yeah,
some
that's right.
cases,
Because
like northern Illinois and Wisconsin.
oh yeah, that's why I think you were saying that you're not that far off. Again, you don't live you don't live in Illinois, but you're in another state that's close enough to it.
Yeah, Illinois is. There's some places like in the Midwest where you'll go and you'll be like one of the only persons of color there, because a lot of the like black population here is pretty much just all pretty much segregated into one general spot.
And to think that it would be them that would stick out like sore thumbs, when in reality it's really us that stick out like the sore thumbs, because we're such a because again our numbers are so low.
I will say like a lot of the MLS people where I'm at now with a mostly black community, a lot of them are in a pretty sunken place, to be honest with you. Really, in like a very elevated state of thinking, I must add.
Oh yeah, yeah, that high status.
Blasian
I
said
was
he,
laughing at that comment Blasian wrote.
and he won.
Hey Blasian, I got another one for you. I actually had to hit a dude in the balls about a week ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And part and see, here's the thing though. See, and the dude that I hit though, he was a again, I do get along with this dude, and he pretty chill. But then there are times where it's just like, oh my god, like there is a reason why every time we go out and you're here, you normally get cut off from drinking at these damn bars.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to start calling you the lone nutcracker, I guess.
and I guess he felt the need to, because
Oh,
again,
but
like,
what were you saying? I'm sorry.
yeah, so it's like, yo, he was trying to like Jones in on me, and I was jonesing on him a little bit, and then all of a sudden, the moment that I saw he was gonna like put his hands up, and he tried to pretend like he trying to close in and do all these sneak shots, but then he left a certain part of himself open, and that's when I went right in the jump. But then all of a sudden, these other
So is this
girls
guy
have
usually like?
what's that?
Is this guy usually like this, or is he suffering from the same? I have to make myself look good in front of the ladies symptoms that a lot of these guys seem to suffer.
It's definitely a bit of both. It's definitely a bit of both. And when I saw that, the two other girls that we normally hang out with as friends, one of them was actually trying to get in my face and like was pretending that she wanted to throw down. I'm like, you know what? I see how you are. I'm gonna do y'all the favor. I'm gonna leave. I am going to leave. And when I left, I was like, that was it. And that's also another
How
thing
long
that
have you known?
I've been knowing this dude sort of kind of like I met this dude about like a year or two ago. We have the like same mutual friends or mutual acquaintances.
So are the ladies usually like this, or were they drunk or something?
Um, I think they may have been. I think they may have been a little drunk. And like I say before, yes, alcohol can bring the best and the worst out of you.
Mostly the worst.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, oh man, that's why and when I look at people and I see how they handle liquor, I'm just shaking my head.
Yeah, it affects people in different ways. RTG, he said, "Bring the demons out."
Yeah.
Some people,
They definitely a whole lot of yeah, a lot of demons do come out.
some people get happy, some people get angry, some people want to, or in my case, just get sleepy.
Yeah, but then again, it's like, and then I started thinking, you know what? There's a lot of things that you really should be worrying about than worrying about little old me, because I'm only one person. And if that really, and again, if that makes you mad, then I don't know what to tell you. When I fight, I come from the shoulders. But you know though, but sort of
Well,
going back
blazing.
to oh, go ahead. Sorry about that.
No, no, go ahead, go ahead. I'm just reading these comments.
Yeah, I was saying, going back to the topic at hand regarding Nolan Wells, I started thinking too that I saw where, I was looking at the people that he was with, even on that boat. And to an extent, it's like I'm gonna speak on myself. Part of me was kind of like that at first, where I didn't have anybody. Only people that I could hang out with at that time was sort of with like the same people that he was hanging out with in that picture. Until I started, getting interacting more with people who sort of resembled me, or if they didn't, then they were another group of people that were melanated. Because, and I really don't want to use this term exactly in this sense because it can definitely be triggering, especially when those is, oh man, like look, like I even heard somebody say, oh yeah, you really shouldn't. This is why you really shouldn't end up being the token kind of black guy because this is what'll happen. And part of me was like, well, it's unfortunate that it did, but this idea of just being token, it was like, no, I don't think that was, primarily the reason why this happened. I think it was, due to the people and where in his region, he thought he can trust them, and these snakes in the grass revealed their ugly heads.
Well, I've been to Mississippi a few couple of times, and I must say that Mississippi is about as probably one of the most southern states you can get in, if you get my drift. It most definitely has like a lot of pockets that are like very, very deep south. And if there's one thing I know, they can be very problematic. They call them the sundown state.
Oh yeah. And I know places like in North Carolina, um, for a while they was even talking about, avoiding or trying to shut down these sundown type places.
Most definitely places that I wouldn't recommend living at, that's for sure.
But then part of me sort of kind of like every now and then will debate whether or not if it is, but how do you think like places like, let's say, somewhere in the East Coast, will we fare well or will we still have the same issues? And part of me kind of looks at it as a double-edged sword because there are people that are from the East Coast that are MLS. They'll say, "Oh, on one end it's good, but
Well,
then on the other end
when you
it's
say East Coast, do you mean like places like New York?
yeah."
Oh, um, I think from what I've heard with like the East Coast, it's a bit racist out there too. But believe it or not, I hear that there's a lot of Latino and Black relations down there that are, well, up there that aren't too good. Because I've heard that a lot of the like Blacks and Latinos don't really have the best relationship. A lot of the Latinos be saying racist stuff about Black people. A lot of the Black people they try to one drop them into the Black community for obvious reasons. I'm sure. I'm sure a lot.
Oh, hey, trust me, hey,
I'm
I
sure a lot.
understand. Definitely understand that. And I know
Well,
what's oh, go ahead.
oh no, go ahead, go ahead.
Because I know Pariah
Oh, what were you
Disciple.
about to say? I can finish my point later.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know Pariah did a video a while back about if you're a mixed dude or a light skinned dude in America, maybe you ought to, maybe suggest, checking these places out. And majority of them were sort of like West Coast and not really too much of the South.
I haven't heard too many. Yeah, I would avoid the South. Honesty.
And you know what though, and that's
From
also
what I've
another thing.
heard,
Oh, you can continue on. Sorry about that, man.
no, you're. I had a Mexican guy try to one drop me, but he says he is mixed indigenous and Spanish, but I am black. Wait, he said
Yeah,
he was
and
black?
he was saying he was trying to one drop he was trying to one drop Blasian, and while the Mexican dude was I guess put himself in that he was trying to identify as mixed, and that's what I was saying earlier about how you get these people that'll be so quick to one drop folks and just to make themselves look good. Now again, they might be mixing indigenous and what have you. So it's like, so what's the difference between your mixed heritage versus somebody else's? Oh, because you want to be the
From
only
what
one. Yeah, you want to be the only one
from what I've
dominating argument.
seen, like in the internet, from what I've seen on the internet, a lot of the Latinos seem to be in two, like, kind of racist side that are just Latino this and Latino that, but pretty much carry on like some of the same racist ideologies that a lot of the redneck white people have. And then you got the other side, the ones I like to call the Mexican cucks, who want to be down with blackness and all that, while knowing good and well that them identifying in blackness is pretty much going to lead to one thing: black men gaining access to their women, which is what a lot of these black men who love to complain about Dominicans and Puerto Ricans and all them identifying as black. That's what a lot of them seem to think.
And also another thing, and then also another thing too, it also dispels their yeah, of course, being anti-black. That's what's being dispelled, at the moment, every time these conversations are being had.
Our GDP said Latinos ain't built like that. Uh, yeah, that's one thing I hate about the South too. I'm a city guy. I just can't just be in a place that's just too slow. I need my sports teams. I need my fairs. I need I just need all that.
Yeah, watch out when it comes to the liberal Hispanics in the USA. A lot of them are cosplaying, but as long as you aren't dating any of their female, yeah, of course. You, oh yes, oh most definitely. When it comes to their, oh yeah, oh wow, trying to gatekeep, yeah, yeah, man,
Oh
they're
yeah, they're the
gatekeepers,
worst.
you know. That gatekeeping is a motherfucker, ain't it?
Yeah, they're really bad when it comes to like their women a lot of times. But I actually, so when you say liberal, the real, do you mean is like is liberal in a sense like they are appealing to whiteness, or liberal in the sense that they appeal to their blackness? I just want a bit of clarity on that comment, honest.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Oh, okay, politically Democrat.
Oh, politically, okay, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, you have to be real careful with those because those are the type of ones that'll throw you under the bus to get a cookie from the community.
Oh yeah.
I actually have been like, I remember I had gotten into it with one of them when we had
Wasn't on
first
here.
started like getting the space started. There was uh it was before I had started. Now it was back in the A9 and SM days where we were going back and forth with a couple of Latinos that were those liberal Latinos that were siding with with the community, honestly, that were calling us out, talking about how we shouldn't be talking about this and light skin privilege and all that.
Oh,
You
you
have to
know
be
what? I think
real
you know
careful
what.
with those.
I think I know who you talking about. I know exactly who you talk about, and I'm not going. I ain't gonna say their names,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know who you referring to. And then all of a sudden try to gaslight and project on us as if we started
I,
this. I'm like, how? You guys talk about your issues all day. Other people can talk about their issues all day, but us, we're supposed to be content where we are and stay silent. Well, damn. And what it's like, so at what point does no, 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 it wasn't him. It wasn't him. Matter of fact, I actually like
no, no, no,
nah,
no.
I actually like his stuff.
I think the
I'm
thing
talking
with Angel is I believe it or not, yeah, I've kind of said some things about Angel Ramirez, but believe it or not, Angel Ramirez was actually one of the people who kind of got me started with this space, honestly, too.
yeah, but then
Yeah,
I also think that there's a
he can
part of
get
that.
in Stephen Brown.
Yeah, and I also think even with those guys, it's like, yeah, I know that your intent may be good, but you really don't have to white knight so hard for a particular group of people that may not see you the same. That's all I'm saying. Oh yeah, Blasian.
Yeah, I could imagine Kenny Stewart. They have a lot of like Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans out there. So a lot of them probably aren't even like light skinned women. They're probably
And you know what
like
though, and also, and I want to say this
Puerto
too,
Rican, Cuban, all types of stuff.
and I also want to say this, and it may be taken the wrong way, but I'm going to say it that they also may want to watch themselves as well, the so-called women, because because others may, or if they haven't already, are also competing with you as well, and they'll display it right in front of your faces when you least expect it. And trust me, I've seen it. Cause you remember them videos that you had um these
I, sh-
these
I should say
Hispanic.
great
Oh, go ahead.
conversation.
Oh, thank you. Because
I should say we
even with
have
the
a great
women
conversation going. If, if anybody wants,
oh, what's up, Mr. Space? But yeah, though, but like I was saying before, you remember those women that would be so quick to talk shit about MLS men just to get just to pander, like even
oh,
for
I'm sorry,
well, it's all good. Like, yeah, you definitely gotta be aware of
I
the
think
people that's pandering
your
just to get acceptance from the other. Oh,
stuff
am
is
I
going
it's
in.
cutting out?
I'm hoping my internet's not. I might have to switch to my phone.
Oh, I know that for sure. RTGP. Malcolm X preached too about liberals being the most racist. Hey yo, the real come on, man. Hey, look, but Blasian cool people. But yeah, though, but yeah, but going back to a little bit about Nolan Wells, and I saw their family. I saw the family photo. Oh, all right, did my bad. But yeah, like I saw that family photo, and I was like, yo, I know, because like I said, nobody. I really meant it when I said he has nice ass mixture. Oh, okay, okay. Sorry about that, then.
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I had to remove myself. Hopefully that gets the internet working a bit more
But
on
yeah, though, but I also want to say this too, that because
my
whenever there's a buzz, oh, go ahead.
laptop. But what were you saying though?
Yeah, I was saying though, so whenever you hear stories like this and they get a buzz, not only on social media but also on regular television, whether the news is reporting it or not, it does kind of says something to you that we too, especially even as MLS men, could also fall victim to this. because like when you saw like what took place with the Asian dude over in South Carolina and also or other stories like this, and we didn't get the community support like that. Nobody wasn't marching up and down like that.
Even though they should have been, honestly.
Even yeah. Now I know you did not again. Now they may have had, oh well, we moved. I'm like, oh, we're going to black businesses and we're not messing with Asian owned stores. Fine and dandy, but fine and dandy, but at the end of the day, is that really the fixture? Asian dude did the same thing in Detroit too. Oh, okay. So that part I didn't know that it
Oh,
was that happened or it wasn't reported.
they're never reported. I feel like it kind of goes back to what I said before about the whole cannon fodder situation. A lot of times, if it's an MLS man that's killed, a lot of times they just throw it in as like a mostly black thing. And in some cases, if there's an agenda that they're willing to push, they want to push it. But if there isn't, they're not really going to talk about it.
Oh, excuse me.
But um, I don't know. I really didn't hear too much about it, but
And what
all I
and
know is they didn't talk about it nearly as much.
but you know though, but this is what I did hear though regarding the Metcalf brothers that them and their dad was right before the situation happened. All three of them were in a fight, and I think that one of the sons broke his own dad's arm. They sure did keep that quiet,
Wow.
and just like apparently their dad was sitting with these attorneys and these was a part of the jury, including the judge. So apparently this was like a payoff to give Carmelo Anthony the amount of time that he's going to get in prison, even though they're appealing it.
Yeah, he got 30 years.
Yeah, and they're trying to appeal that, even though his dad was not Carmelo's, but Austin and what's his other brother's Metcalf, pretty much just sitting around like the good old boys, enjoying themselves while they locked somebody up for basically defending themselves, or they felt like they defended themselves.
Yeah, it's like I said, once they have families that are judges and lawyers, they can pay them off and have them sentence anybody to everything. It's just all politics at the end of the day.
But then again, though, now and I'm pretty sure you probably heard about I would say but the latest buffoon named Mr. Charleston White making shirts and stuff, calling him or referring to Carmelo as a watermelon felon.
Charleston White,
Yeah,
he's
I'm like, and I'm
I don't
like,
know what more I could say about
yeah,
him.
I'm like, dude, it's no secret that you too also got some charges that you definitely don't want anyone to talk about. You have a sketchy past yourself. Now, yeah, you may be out now, but do you really want people to go in?
The real E wants to know if anybody is on the West Coast now. No, not me.
Oh, I'm in Washington State. Oh yeah. You know what, the real, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was the Metcalf's
The
dad that coined that
watermelon felon.
phrase.
Wow.
But then Charleston White just
Oh.
made a t-shirt and was selling them online because he was mad at Carmelo's dad. And I'm like, he probably understood. Well, it's all right, but you do have a lot of you will get traffic that will be just bunched up. And a lot of people drive freaking crazy.
I had a cousin that lived in Seattle. He said it
Oh
was
yeah.
one of his favorite places. Yeah.
But you know the funny thing about it is that I'm about where I live now. It'll take me about an hour just to get there. And I know that, and again, and there's also another three other people on here too who we associated with, who's also from Washington State. So how's the West Coast for MLS folks out there? Hey, they're pretty chill. Yeah, they pretty chill.
I would imagine it's probably better considering that there's so many MLS people out there.
Oh, absolutely. But the only thing that I will say is though that they also may want to be very careful with the company that they keep.
Yeah, I think that's a given at this point, regardless of where you're at. So I guess we're pretty much coming to understanding that the West Coast and East Coast is fine, but the Midwest and the South is looking a little dicey right now. I will say that from my experiences in the South and from what I've seen, like on the internet, the South seems to be very anti MLS, particularly anti MLS men, because a lot of the like colorist comments that I've seen about MLS men have came from women from the South.
And you know, though, and truth be told, honestly, because I'm originally from the South, but I grew up here in the Pacific Northwest. I know it may not sound like it even when I speak at times, but my accent will jump in and pop out every now and again. And the same issues that other folks may have in the South. Hey, that was pretty much me.
I think it's probably because the South is just so further behind everyone else in terms of like overall, just what's the word I'm looking for? Just overall ecosystem and just overall finance.
Well, and it does also have it does have a cheaper living. You know, you can live down there for inexpensive, but the pay and stuff is crap.
Chicago is not really a place I would recommend for MLS people. Honest, Chicago is like an echo chamber for just debauchery and just tomfoolery, especially as far as the community is concerned. Chicago is full of a lot of bad things and not a lot of good, honestly.
Who got bands of terrorists roaming? Okay, so I think it may have been who was asking how the okay, places like what's going on in Bellevue and Redmond. You know what, truth be told, I haven't even been out to Bellevue or Redmond yet.
West Virginia is the most boring state in the nation. uh,
Hey, but you
I
know
don't
what
see
though?
how anybody could live there,
But you know what
honestly.
though? But I'm also glad y'all brought that up too. But and I'm in Virginia and take the West Virginia out, like the actual state of Virginia. From my understanding, they also too got a populace of MLS folk.
Well, that's because, believe it or not, Virginia is like a historical like spot. Like there was a lot of like mixed nations that actually were started there. There,
Yep,
South Carolina, Louisiana.
yep. Even North Carolina to some extent.
Blaze just says Antarctica or North Korea.
Okay, Blaze, you need to stop, bro.
Oh man, I don't think
Like yeah,
anybody is trying to go to
yeah.
North
Come
Korea
on
right
now.
now.
Look, like, we're not trying to get not trying to get canceled. But yeah, though, hey, but it seems like hey, the chat is the chat's getting kind of vibing pretty well. Hey, so everybody pretty much here, um, at least they know it's like they haven't been just in one spot the majority of their life
Right.
versus people
You
who
know,
haven't really. But go ahead.
I'm glad you. I'm glad Real E kind of brought this up because it had kind of brought something to my attention that I've been thinking about. Like has anybody ever noticed how it seems like a lot of these like Africans are starting to creep into a lot of these colorism conversations? 'Cause from what I've heard, the light skin, dark skin relationships over there are way worse than they are over here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They've been doing this for they've been doing that for forever, even during the Golden Sphere days, and even farther out. There was always a population of them just interloping, and it's like, and then the more you see it and the more you hear about it, it's like, okay, we get it, we get it. If you want to, again, keep if you want to keep it gate, if you want to gatekeep, fine. But when we're talking about stuff that we go through, you're not a part of this. And it's not because you're Ugandan or Rwandan or Kenyan, what have you. You really don't have a seat at the table like that. And also another thing too, and because in certain places in Africa, and everybody knows what goes on with the albinos. And because
Yeah.
and some of them think that, well, how come none of that isn't really happening like that even in America?
Oh, I'll be right back, though.
Okay. Oh yeah, hey Blasian, I'm also glad you said that too, because that's also what I've been thinking about. Oh, the real, you said you look like Sinbad the comedian. Well, though, the real, I'm gonna say this, so you don't get blindsided. You may or you will come across some line steppers. You will do that. You're gonna come across some of those. And it's just like and some of them just get too comfortable with stepping, again, with stepping over the line just because they can. So I'm gonna just read some of these comments over here. And again, even in Seattle, it's not really necessarily all that cheap just to live down here too. If I had to compare it, we're kind of like the West Coast version of what a New York is. In a sense, you gotta pretty much work work 2, 3 jobs just to make ends meet. Or if you got a good paying job, then you might be able to settle, depending on the people you know. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Most definitely, man. Hey, I wish you nothing but the best in the especially in the big tech.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, my bad. I was trying to read this name, and I don't want to butcher it. What's the name? Ash Jayla Clark. I don't know if that's a woman name or if it's a man. I just want to be sure.
Oh yeah, that's a lady. I remember her. She
Oh, okay,
she was on
okay.
one of my streams, I think like a year or two ago.
Oh yeah, hey Kenneth, you basically took the words out of my mouth, man. because both sides will, yeah, because them monoracials will fuck with you within a split fraction of a second.
Every time.
And even with because again, and I kind of overheard like now I don't know if you ever go on the subreddit groups, but them ones over there, especially on the subreddits,
I
terrible.
can only imagine.
Oh, it's terrible. And I'm still haven't really got the full confirmation of who actually owns or who actually operates that page. And I keep getting different answers. I don't know if it's a mixed person running it or a monoracial running it.
Which subreddit is it?
Well, it's basically Reddit, but they do have a what they call a mixed race category.
Yeah, I see. I just see Kenny's comment now. Most definitely. So while we're on the topic of location, what exactly would be a spot that a lot of people would say is the spot to avoid right now?
You know what? The hell with it. I'm gonna say it. Texas.
Oh, Texas, huh?
Yeah, I said it.
I would say that Texas can, but believe it or not, I would say like the north part of Texas isn't like the Dallas Fort Worth area. I say isn't that bad, but like the rest of the state, it, I can agree because I actually was in the parts that were kind of like the country parts, like Euless, Irving, and I don't really know if those would be places that I would recommend, honestly.
Hell, especially those them
Yeah,
real, especially them real ghosts, those real ghost towns.
yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Mississippi. Ugh. Don't get me wrong, I love it as like a vacation spot, but to live, no way. It,
Okay, Kenneth says San Diego, California, or Arizona.
well, now that's interesting. I'm going to have to hear you expand on. So no to California or Arizona, huh? I definitely. Oh, okay, I'll say not so much as a vacation spot, more so if you have like family down there, you got a place you can go to with people that you know. Yes, but as far as like vacation, then no.
Well, it does get
Yeah, I can't really argue with
you're
that
right.
either.
Yeah, I can't really argue with that list either.
especially Minnesota. Minnesota has been on the wrong end of a lot of clownery lately. I wouldn't recommend anybody going to that place right now. That place has been on the news for all the wrong reasons. Very poorly ran, poor leadership.
Yo, the real. Come
Whoa, wait a minute. Now we're starting to go. We've hit the 2 hour mark. We're starting to go in the left field now.
Yeah, we really about to turn the tempo up.
I haven't really. Now I heard Atlanta. Now Atlanta is probably the. Yeah, you might as well throw Atlanta in there too. That no way.
It's like I'm like these Felice Johnson having motherfuckers down there. That's like that's
I've
you
heard
know what? Hey,
seen.
the real. I was getting ready to say that too, especially about them Felice Johnson motherfuckers. Even in the ATL, like this prison love, like this ain't nothing prison about it.
Jamaica, Kingston, Westmoreland, St. Andrew.
That they do.
That doesn't really surprise me.
Oh wow. Well, at least they on the list now.
So pandering.
Nah, I get what you saying. It's like we the Tom Duvoirs, and you get them dudes that's up in prison. See, let's talk about this dude named Tom. Tom is a dude that give us wet dreams around. I'm like, oh God. It's
I,
not that kind of party.
I, from what I've heard, it is it's something real out there.
I speak Spanish at an intermediate
Very
level, and
scary
the
place.
Venezuelans didn't want to deal with me too much. So if I'm like, oh damn, it's like that.
Well, Venezuela, that country is. Uh, don't even get me started on that.
Yeah, they also having their own little self clashing or internal clash. The
I
Venezuelans
didn't
in
know
Atlanta.
Atlanta had Venezuela. I
Well,
haven't
they
really
always
heard too many people talking about the East Coast though. So what about New York, New Jersey, and those areas? The Bronx, the finally 2026 NBA champion New York Knicks.
I'm like, you know what? Hey, cause how long has it been
That's the brother.
since they won a championship?
I think it's been like 50 years, 50,
Yeah,
52
so
years.
right. And you know what though, and and shout outs to the brother Jalen Bronson. Real talk. Jalen Bronson, Carl Anthony Towns, anybody that did what they did to contribute.
Asha said the fellow minority prejudice is the worst. Houston let me know that as well as being.
As well as being especially being the A wire.
Oh, trust me, the real. I've seen and heard enough stories to know that Atlanta is probably the echo chamber of Ninjaville. Atlanta's just another place that's pretty much getting known for all the wrong reasons.
So we pretty much got a sort of I don't want to say diverse, but it seems like the chat
We
is
got
happens to be from all over the different parts of the world, especially here in America. The Bronx, New York, Atlanta, Mississippi, Midwest.
Simpson Street, Grand Concourse.
Now, oh, never mind. I was gonna say, okay, so that must be Jamaica Queens where they be cutting and stabbing.
So I haven't really heard anybody talk. Is there anybody who's been on the West Coast? Well, like California, Arizona, New Mexico. I think that Arizona is pretty hot, just too hot for me, honestly.
It does get cold at night though. It's just that when it's like hot during the day, it's so hot down there. You could literally you could set raw meat on the pavement and it'll start cooking.
That I've heard H Town is hot like that too, but I
Oh
think
yeah,
H Town is starting to get well known for its tomfoolery and debauchery too.
and I think I may have also heard
DMV
a
is too.
story. And I think I may have heard a story. Now I could be wrong that the STD rates is going up.
They are bad.
Yeah, and even in the ATL. And I'm like, damn, like what the
That doesn't surprise me.
yeah, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, Y'all into some crazy activities. Southside Queens, the J people moved out and ninjas moved in.
Uh-oh. Yeah, once I hear Atlanta, I'm pretty much Atlanta is just. If you're dating in Atlanta, you might just need to move. Honestly, I've heard it's very rough out there.
Gee,
North Carolina, that's surprising. Considering North Carolina isn't even that big of a state, honestly.
but it's not that far from but it's not that far from Virginia or even New York though. That's like the central, is that like a central thing or central coast?
It could be.
Oh, I remember the Lost Boys. They was dope. Hella dope. But y'all know, hey, but you
I don't
know,
think.
I gotta say what's up to the Wu-Tang clan though.
Okay. Anybody else wants to join up? Reposting the link again.
Oh yeah, because we gonna hit the 8 o'clock mark soon. So you already know how it's gonna be.
So I think we've established pretty much that the most of the South seems to be a no go. It seems like.
Wow, Blasian, I don't know
Yeah,
about
I
that.
don't
I
think
don't know
that's
about that
happening,
one
but
though.
the Hispanics treated you way better in the Bronx. Huh, I guess I could leave that. From what I've heard, I don't think. I think the Black and Latino relationship is tolerable. I guess in the New York area, from what I've heard, maybe a little too tolerable, but.
tell them how you feel. Tell them how you feel. The real.
I I will say that from what I've heard, a lot of the like particularly black men there are kind of territorial. Like sometimes they get a little mad when it comes to the women. A lot of time. Hey, welcome to the stream, Ash.
Hello.
Hello.
How's
Yes,
it going?
Are you able to hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. I'm just so glad. I have not seen your page post in a long time.
Yeah,
And
I'm trying
I
to get
know, I'm sorry.
a bit more consistent in these streets.
Absolutely. I just wanted to get on and of course just welcome you back into, the space and also just mention um get your take on I'm sure what you've observed as the growing voice in this space in our MLS community. And just how are you feeling about that? Because I certainly remember your channel like years ago. I think it was probably pandemic years when I first learned of your channel and would engage your panel. So since then, I've I'm more so now following like Mulatto and Global Light, um, but they're pretty engaging channels as well. So I'm not sure if you're already tapped in with those brothers, but yeah, I just wanted to get your take on that.
Oh yeah, especially and shout outs to brother Globe Light. I shouted him out earlier.
Okay.
He had a stream. He had a stream last night. That even with some of the stuff that the flack that he gets, it's like it wouldn't
Oh,
necessarily
I'm
hurt
sorry,
us to
couldn't.
say that we need every ally we could possibly get,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and I also like who you said was it Mulatto Mindset?
Yeah, I think it's mulatto mindset.
Oh yeah, I like that dude too.
Yeah, I'll eventually start a channel. Um, I have a brainchild that I'm working on. That'll be more so. It's not going to be like a documentary, but it is going to be in the vein of a documentary. That's titled "What's in a
Oh, that sounds
Skin,"
nice.
and it is designed to be like an affirmative piece for our community. Um, so it's going to be like more interview based, um, and sharing the stories of mixed race, biracial, light skinned people's um, racial origin makeup that's evident in their skin difference. So that's something that I'm really trying to put teeth behind and contextualize so far. And then like once that launches, I plan on getting a channel. But I'm really encouraged by the voices of men um, that are speaking about this, and I do believe that um, the women will certainly follow because we absolutely do know this. We know our otherness very well. For those of us who are at least at that level of maturity and see it for what it is, um, we know we know the difference that we're confronted with. I call it like being a triple minority, like in the group of blackness. So we know it all so well, and I just think that we'll continue to expand. I think that what we saw happen, like with the racial, with the greater race awakening, like in 2015, and all these extremists we saw emerge, and just kind of, you know, really just this whole enlightenment period that happened within the Black culture, and the awakening, like it was on a range. Like you had some people that were like real extremists, and then you have, ultimately though you did have like this greater sense of Black pride and um, more gatekeeping, even within the Black race of Blackness and who can speak on what. And I think that's going to happen with us, like as biracial, light skinned, and mixed race people. I think we'll even begin to see that more so emerge out of our subgroup too. So
Oh,
I just
most definitely. Oh, and also, before I go back into the convo, Blasian, you already know you're the OG, man. Hey, been an OG ever since I came into this space.
oh wonderful.
Yeah, and also, but also, and going back to the point though that you made in regards to, and I do wish you on I do wish you on the journey to start a channel if you want.
Hmm.
And also, I also want to put out there as well that you're definitely going to get a lot of you. You're definitely going to get support, but then you're going to get unnecessary
Oh,
support. It does go hand in hand, and be aware of people. You know, again, and again, the new favorite word now, interloper, that'll peep in and out of spaces like this.
okay.
Because they've been existing, and they've been existing since the beginning of time.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I think that it's for me, interestingly enough, so I like I noted in the chat, like I'm here in Atlanta and I've been here for a long time and I work in government and I worked for the blackest of cities and I had a very, very unfortunate um black experience that I know is rooted in colorism and
Oh
just,
no.
yeah, terribly rooted in colorism, working for the city of Atlanta, that resulted in me needing to file a EEOC claim on the basis of colorism, discrimination by um, colorism. Um, so that experience really, really, like there were subtleties, there were differences I was always aware of um, in my engagement with the community, and I, alluded it to, my difference in skin tone. I am black. I have two black parents, two black light skinned parents, but still black. And um, that experience just like just one of many, but very much so more of the like the more formal experience that let me know this is really a problem. And then, I just would eventually continue to meet more people and professionals who have had similar experiences in that space that were just really career derailing for people who looked like me. So this we are absolutely necessary. So like any backlash I've, in conversations I've had with others concerning this, I mean, it's the noise of and claims of, you know, any works that I would put out, channels like this that exist, and shout out to you, Blasian, too. I I cannot say I have followed your channel, but your name definitely rings bells. I'm not gonna say that you're a stranger in the space at all. So definitely want to give recognition to you too. But yeah, the I don't even care about the claims of it's divisive. It's pure ignorance. Our
I think
experience is just it's just too valid. It's too valid. And then I would just further
I
say,
will
like, we
say
go
when you
ahead.
do start, I would say if you do start your channel, I think a docu series is definitely a very much needed avenue in this space. I think
Okay.
it'll make it very unique in the sense that just try to be like try to follow your own style, set
Hmm.
your own pace,
For sure.
and just try to be you. Just make the videos how you feel, what
Hmm.
you feel comfortable in. If that's uploading every day, on a couple times a day, or even like every few couple of months, I say just my style is more like a quality kind of style, more so than just a video here,
Hmm.
video tomorrow, video the next day. No, just try to set your own style and pace.
For sure. For sure.
And also I also want to ask you as well. You're the one that's from New York, correct?
Yes, I am. Shout out to Wu Tang. I'm a
Yeah,
Staten
yeah,
Islander.
yeah. So you're familiar with Park Hill and all.
Yes, and Stapleton.
Mhm. So how did the transition happen from New York all the way down to Atlanta?
So, interestingly enough, like being light skinned, I just, our experiences are very similar. But coming from like a place like New York, where we, as a Black people, we are really, especially like an African American group, outnumbered by other minority groups. We really are the smallest represented population there. I was seeking more blackness. Like I needed that. So I came to Georgia for college and sought out a black experience in the form of my all girls, all women's college, Spelman. And that's what brought me here
Okay.
as a young adult. And I've
Oh,
stayed
Spelman.
there. Yes. Yes, 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 yes.
And again, and obviously we was having fun with Atlanta and Georgia, and vice versa, and we're still gonna have uh, fun at its expense
Yeah, absolutely. No, I
with
don't.
the stuff that goes on down there. Sad to
Oh
say.
yeah, I'm totally over the hype. I'm taking nothing. I'm not offended by any of it at all. I'm so over a lot of the hype. A lot of the idealism that brought me here. I'm not there these days. But um, yeah. So that's to answer your question directly. That's exactly what inspired me to want to move to Atlanta, and it's served its purpose in doing that, and like now I'm over it. I lived in Houston for 1 year, and again kind of just had that same feeling that I had growing up in New York, like just the discomfort with just once again just being super ostracized by like being a triple minority, and then even just dealing with the microaggressions of other minority discrimination or prejudice. It just, ooh. So it's a double-edged sword, right? Like here in a place like Atlanta, it's like uh, this comfort that I get being amongst people of my racial group,
Hmm.
but then there's also the limitations that
Oh,
come
what's
with
up,
that as
Tor?
well.
Hey, what up, Tor?
I definitely want Tor to join because I think Tor is, I believe, is from the New York area. He probably can give us a bit of insight, more insight on that. Been up for 2 hours so far.
But you already know how it's gonna be when that 2 hour mark hit, though.
I say I'll probably be on for like another hour.
Someone said
Oh,
I
we're
came
past the
for the
2 hour
job
mark
market.
now.
But yeah, though. And having said all of that, have there were you able to again like find peace or
Oh nah, they didn't. Absolutely. I'm sorry. I'm now looking at the comments.
No.
No, they did not. A lot of MLS women do that because of the benefits. It's so hard to date MLS women. Reasons I have. No. See, and that's
Well,
another misconception that we are pedestalized within our community. We are not. We really are not.
well,
And
I would say dating in Atlanta is just a no go, regardless of who you are.
yeah, that's true.
There's
And
that's just
you know,
the
because
dynamic they
there's
got going down there is
and you know
a
what? I would agree with that. It's when I
dangerous
consider dating
regardless of who you are.
the natives. Now, my experience with dating other transplants, like people who moved here from Chicago, and remember, I came for school, so a lot of the people that I originally met were not from here. But as soon as just living here and becoming a local myself, no, it's yeah, it's a beast. It's a beast. It's a beast. But no, I would say as a light skinned woman, it's been.
Well,
Go ahead.
well, just to catch you up, Tor, we started off talking about the Nolan Wells, and now we're pretty much been talking about like different areas where MLS people are treated, our
Okay.
own
Yeah,
experiences, and all that good stuff.
that is such
If
a
you would like to join and put your 2 cents in, I can post a link for you.
absolutely. Are we talking about it on the panel still up
Oh
here?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh
Because
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So to that, that's actually really interesting and really eye opening. I hope for so many. I mean, MLS and then just the greater Black community in general. Because one thing that, and I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, but a lot of the times, like MLS people are like, we're like pro. I don't know. I grew up kind of being like a pro fan of my culture and my race. So I didn't like, I didn't think it was cool to have white friends. I wasn't one of those girls who wanted non-black friends. Like if anything, I wanted to have black friends and be with my people and be with my culture. Like, and the I always saw the other people as the swag biters, if you will, of our culture, the black culture. So when I went to a place like Spelman and then just even outside of undergrad, and I saw just how thirsty black people were for like white friends and they really felt esteemed having white friends. I thought that was the coolest shit ever and it was really disheartening. So I just hope that I just I just hope that the greater race just sees that no, you're not always gonna die if you have a white friend being the only, but like have some racial pride and like understand the same way trauma has um, transferred through generations via slavery and just history. They have a history too, and theirs looks like I don't know if anyone has saw that video of the white woman who was explaining this um, and explaining the reason why she believes those boys murdered this young man. Um, but it's just the same thought that the same way post traumatic slave syndrome exists within many Black people. What do you think? It's the same for many of these white kids, and it manifests itself in cruelty of their Black friends, or just this jealousy or envy with Black people's freedom. So that's my take.
I kind of heard somewhat similar. Somebody say something similar to what you just said regarding that. Is that there is like that jealousy and envy because we're not in shackles. We're not in, balls, not in ball and chains.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not, but it's like not externally, but internally. If you get my drift.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always and it also kind of like had me thinking. It's like see, this is what happens when you don't really read up too much up on history, because it's bound to repeat itself.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the most positive way.
Right.
And even with those, and again, as I said earlier, again, regarding certain interlopers, and as you put it, culture Biden's I call them culture vultures.
Yeah, that's what they are.
Yeah.
That's the real
the culture vultures of the world, doing that because either they want to benefit by reporting on somewhat of the negative just to get views. And what I also was going to say earlier, if I ever had the chance to see back then, even when I came into this space, I was sort of kind of on a way more rebellish in my thought process. And then the more the time kept passing by and progressing, I sort of had to sort of not let too much of the things get to me, because that's what they want. Like they want to see you react a certain way. They want to see you they want to see you crash out, because that's what okay, I think Brown and Beige.
Wait a minute. I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me? Oh, hold on.
Are you muted?
Hello?
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 All right, how about now? Oh, are you still there?
Okay, guys, I had to switch to my phone again.
Oh, it's all good.
I hate that little echo sound that makes it in my face. So I heard somebody saying they were having sound problems. So Aisha, you still there?
What's going on? Oh, yeah.
Okay, looks like she's having sound problems.
Yeah.
But the real said that he outed by FBA. FBA banned one MLS women but one the MLS men to date the
I'm so
What I
sorry.
tell you guys about this 2-hour mark?
Hey, Brown and Beige. Hey, they gonna be them comments is gonna come and they gonna be on one tonight.
The ugly.
But nah though. See, and I can relate to what the real was saying because I was a victim of that, and other people that I know also fell victim to that as well. Like they'll take the most undesirable person that nobody else wants, but will be so quick to pass them on to you,
Welcome to the panel, Tiger Happy.
thinking that they're doing you a favor.
I have seen that though. I can't even argue with it, honestly.
Yeah,
Well,
and
how
I'm like,
does that play out? I'm just curious to know. How does that, how, like,
you know what? For me, I kind of knew what they were doing. That's a diss. It's really a diss at the both of us, and
okay,
and you become a pawn when and they become a manipulate. It's a manipulation thing
okay,
just to get you out of the way because they believe that you're not deserving of having
the best.
the best.
Wow. Okay.
Well, they want the best for themselves,
Yeah,
basically.
absolutely. So they pretty much like they're ball hogging.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Then
They don't
that
want
makes
you.
sense.
They don't want you to take the ball from them.
The finest.
Yeah, and Mr. Space said it the best: sexual panding just to fit in.
Yes. Yes. I've seen it. And y'all, I recently went to a adult camp trip this past weekend or last weekend, and it was really great. But of course, like I check for the light skinned men or the mixed men when I'm going, right? And it was just so disheartening to see the way they went after everyone. It's like they purposely did not engage me, probably like one of the only light skinned women there.
May I ask who
So
was there? Who was mostly there?
black, black, black. It was a mature crowd too. It was a mature group. It was like there was a great representation of like most of us who were like on the 30 and up side. And it was well organized. It was put together by a diverse spring group of people, which was cool. And this is their last year, as of right now, hosting this camp. But I saw that and I'm just like, gosh, it's just dawned on me that these experiences also did a number on men and light skinned men and mixed race men and how they, like, some of you are like, I'm gonna like who I'm gonna like, and it's not about, because I need the acceptance of the greater race or one racial group. you know because I kind of see it as like the same way like we'll see like black men, how we would say, oh, they're going to white women because they're encouraged to go to white women because it's a status symbol. Okay, the perception of light skinned men dating darker skinned and brown skinned women is very much so the same perception.
And you know what though? See, and I remember back in the day, like I would ask, do we get hit with the same stereotype that regular FBA men get hit with? And or is that just them projecting as if
When you're
we're
dating outside of the greater black community.
not just that, but not just that, but just like any other experience that, like for an example, if you see a black dude robbing a bank, of course we already know what comes with it. If me or Brown and Beige or anybody in the chat
Mhm.
did the same thing, we'll not only get ridiculed for the crime, but also our skin color will be getting challenged. Like even for an example, like what's going on with this Love Island. Now I don't watch this stuff. I've heard
Oh
too
man.
much of the buffoonery that took place.
Very relative though.
Yeah, and
Well,
also this pop the balloon
In the
stuff.
context of love though, I do want to say it's completely different though. Because crime it's two different contexts. So in love, absolutely. Absolutely. And as you mentioned, like it's the complexion is a major, it's a conversation piece, you know, and the discussion of these shows and pop the balloon. And yes, very, 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 very much so noted in that context. When you talk about like criminalizing people,
Yeah, as
I,
if as if people in general ain't gonna do things that will help them. Uh,
advance.
yeah,
That's true. And I get that. And I get that. And I don't it's not a knock, but again, just coming from again, just that double minority perspective as a light skinned woman. That's what it's looking like to me when I'm looking at light skinned men kind of like it's almost like a self-hatred it's starting to look like because when you go out of your way to shun light skinned women and even I've heard some brothers be pretty harsh when it comes to like their perception of light skinned women and where they feel like our voice is even in this community so far. And that we bash light skinned men. I'm like, when did we do that? Like, but you know, that's been the experience and the perception of a lot of light skinned men. And for me, I'm learning and sitting in as a student, you know, of these experiences, you know, not resisting and saying that that's not true. It's just not been my experience. And of the light skinned women I know, I don't ever, I never see, you know, us doing that with, you know, MLS men. So,
well, you know, when we talk about stuff like that or say the things that's being said, it's not necessarily to be vain or
yeah,
vile, but
right.
it's just that to have our experiences, being talked about on a
Right.
certain platform, and especially from what I've seen, and even from what I may have experienced myself, I try my best to like not rehash too much of it because I know, like I said, I know where it stems from, and I know exactly who's who's pulling whose strings.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, I'm like, oh, all right. You said, like as the saying go, when someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Right. Right.
And also another thing too, and that I was also getting ready to ask. Now I don't know if you saw the stream that Brown and Beige did regarding the Meg the Stallion Clay Thompson thing. That was also another example of
Mm,
what we were hitting at, where everybody was so mad at Clay
yeah.
for alleged.
Yeah.
And we also need to really kick the ballistics here. Well, did you know that while they were together, she was still going to court trying to battle the Tory Lane stuff? So while they were together, you obviously had to pretty much put one and two together and just take certain things that you can get as evidence that
Mm-hmm.
hey, it may last very long, it may not, but if something happens, somebody's gonna be the bad guy here. And unfortunately, it was my man's Clay Thompson. As if people don't break up all the time, as if people not cheating. There's somebody cheating right now. I'm just saying it's
Right.
reality.
It. Oh gosh. So what were you all's takeaway in that discussion?
Well, for me, for me and where I stood on it is if when folks try to take these human experiences
Mm-hmm.
and they try to minimize it to the point to where, well, if one does it, they all do it, not
Right.
realizing that if you really want to be specific, technically speaking,
Mm-hmm.
Clay is not starving for attention like that. And I
No.
don't want to say Meg the Stallion ain't starving like that either, but still at the
Yeah.
end of the day, you're gonna look at the circles who Clay interacts with versus who Meg interacts with.
Right. And what her options are versus his.
Yeah. And people are just gonna have to accept the fact that Clay is making billions and billions of dollars. So as
I
long as he ain't trying to kill people or
For sure. I obviously, in our era, social media, you know, people really do live these pure social lives and get overly engaged in personal experiences of celebrities. But I do see in their split, okay, and even in just like their pairing when they were, couple goals. Oh my goodness, people took it so black women particularly, dark skin and black, whenever a dark skin or a brown skin woman is being pedestalized, I mean, it's just like Jesus coming to the dark skin, brown skin black women, right?
exactly. And it's
And
like
it's
okay,
like,
and that's
okay,
the
so it's
thing too.
like,
It's like
oh
we
my
we get
gosh.
it's like we get necessarily the smoke that we really shouldn't be getting, but won't say anything
Oh,
to
for
this other
sure.
person here who did worse.
You all definitely get the she likes him more than he likes her. Um, like those stereotypes or people's, what do I want to call it? People's projections at play, just perceiving, a black person being with a mixed race person or a lighter skinned person and them just projecting that, oh, the light skin or mixed race one absolutely feels like they're better than the blacker person. And and that was really evident in people's think pieces in response to their breakup and fallout. I just think as a woman, it was to Megan's, it was really to her, it was a disservice to her for her to have a outburst like that, because it really did play up the stereotypical trope that you are ghetto and ratchet, because you do have a more elevated public relationship now with this billionaire baller. And you didn't even, what you said, just, it's like, it, like somebody in ninth grade who's on X ranting about their breakup would say that, you know? So I just felt like, girl, like, just shut the hell up. Like, just, it's not, I could see if she had made major claims, like, and he was physically abusive and you're taking steroids. I mean, like, really wanting to oust him. But it just wasn't even newsworthy. I felt like that was just, it was basic.
Absolutely, it's
Yeah.
like people put and made more out of it than what it
Yeah,
had to be for, unfortunately, for the wrong reasons.
for sure.
Sad to say, but also, but though, so because so what is the dynamic of MLS women, MLS men in your area?
Is that a question toward me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I just definitely shared my observation. It sucks. I have had a relationship actually with a light skinned male. And that relationship actually was like one of my favorite relationships. Um, but he would ultimately decide to go with someone darker, much darker, Jamaican descent. I mean, totally opposite of me.
Oh.
But that had been his type. I would learn like that really just had been his type. And he's like a 6'5", tall, very light skinned male. From the South though. But he
Oh, that makes
goes
a lot
with
of sense.
and highly educated, but he works here in a metro Atlanta community in government as well. And he needs that black vote. He needs that black buy-in. And I saw, even though we complimented each other very well, I don't think he wanted that he didn't want that he just didn't want to be set apart like that. I think he wanted to go the way of least resistance,
But it shouldn't
and
be like that, though. Honestly,
you say what?
it really shouldn't be like that. Honestly,
It should no, it absolutely shouldn't, and it shouldn't. But I reckon, but once again, like that's a part of his experience. I guess he didn't want to feel left out, and I guess she gave him access that I couldn't give him, or gave him favor with the community in a way that I couldn't give him, and that's ultimately kind of what I saw it as, unfortunately.
Sorry
So
sorry to hear that. Like,
yeah,
I really am.
yeah.
It's like okay. It's like I'm seeing about Mr. Space saying Barack Obama. It's like, oh wow.
Well,
Because and
but
it's like okay,
in
part of me
all
can somewhat see where he was
fairness,
coming from. But go ahead.
Barack looks like a brother. Like Michelle didn't make him more black. Like me and this guy actually, we really look like we were supposed to be together. But again, like in his instance, anyway, it's just a matter. I could say like Barack actually looks like he's supposed to be with Michelle, and she really does compliment him. Like,
Because I
so
remember, because I remember back in the day where even when he was running,
yeah,
when he was first running for president, you even had people that was openly admitting that, oh well, if he didn't get Michelle and he got with somebody that resembled him externally and internally,
but
he
you guys
wouldn't.
don't think he looked more like, even though he's biracial, he looks like he's more black leaning,
yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
His
yeah.
which gives him black privilege, like in the greater, and that's an element there too. That's another nuanced part of the conversation, because even though our experience, oh my gosh, we I know we like to differentiate amongst so many different things, right? But for the sake of this space, if we're just talking about, like, just the mixed race and lighter skin tone groups, for those of us who are more like, have more like, whether it's more black features, or darker skin, or even in some instances, mannerisms, how we culturally identify personalities, that does give you more, that does shape your experience with the greater community in a more favorable way, if it aligns.
yeah, I can't argue with that. Um,
So I would just say, like, this is more of a, sounds like a more male attended panel, but I would just make the appeal as a light skinned MLS woman is like, um, you know,
Oh
what
well,
I'll
you
add.
know what? We make room for everybody.
Okay,
We try
perfect.
to.
Well, I won't say it's a
this
pill. I'll
channel is
just
welcome to everyone.
Perfect. I'll just say what I'll add to the conversation from my perspective, and I know people are coming from different places. Um, is because I think what I've observed with light skin here in the South, this is not likely going to be the case in a place like New York, or maybe even somewhere out west, um, or in other parts of the East Coast. But here in the South, is be like, if you're in the South and you're a light skinned man or a mixed race man, and you want to lead your own tribe, like, if as far as like family starting, like, be okay with that. Just be okay with that, because I think that what I'm seeing is Black men, really light skinned and mixed race men, like picking a side, and it's a side that's like not really favorable to them, because anything that looks self denial to me is automatically like that's gonna be a loss for you at the end of the day.
I agree.
So I would just say, I think like what comes up is like, and I'm just speculating. I'm not, it may not even be, this may not even be what it is. But I think sometimes the issue of ownership, like be okay to be like, no, this is mine and this is for me, and I don't have to go your way or your way. That I can just take hold of what is for me and go from there, and just wrestle through the discomfort of that. It's that's it.
Okay.
All right.
Never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
Again, again, I learned as I go. I like to learn as I go anyway. So, because even for me, I guess again, I just read pretty much too much into things, even though I shouldn't, or maybe don't really look at it from a standpoint. It was like, oh wow, I thought I was deep, but there's somebody that's deeper than me. But yeah, but you also said that you also work in or you do some governmental work too.
Yeah, I'm in government. I'm now in state government, but I've been in like the local government
Okay.
before state. So I'm with the locals. Like I know how these people are here.
I was gonna say, hey, I just want to say so nobody doesn't have to get arrested or get brought up on certain charges for speaking our minds on YouTube.
No, no, absolutely. Oh, no, no, no. I'm not in law enforcement. I'm not
Oh,
in
oh,
public
oh.
safety now.
Okay, all right. My bad.
No, 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 no. That would be so crazy if I was on here like scouting. No, that's not the case. Nah.
But yeah, hey, but nah, though. But how you pronounce your name? Is it Aisha?
So
Or?
it's so Asha. My actual name. That's not my real name.
Okay. Oh,
That's my YouTube. That's my YouTube and TikTok name. Um, but Asha is like it's just a favorite name. But it's Asha, my real initial, and my real last name. That's it.
okay, because I
Oh,
just
okay.
kept looking at it like multiple times. I'm like, okay, I don't want to butcher names, but if I
Yeah.
do,
It's the and I should change it. It's Asha J. Leclerc. Leclerc is not my last name. Clerk is just my last name. But this is an old YouTube channel. I really do need to change that name. Nobody ever has it like downright. It's always like, okay, Ashley's in the chat or Asha's in the chat. But it's pronounced just Asha J. Leclerc.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, I guess I got close. Asha.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Asha.
yeah. Though, so but yeah, though, and I didn't know that you was also getting around these parts. These parts of the space.
Yeah. So I'm like, I learned and I started with you, Beige. Like you were the first channel that I saw in this space. Blasian, I want to say I've seen your channel as well. But I
Ice.
and I know I've seen there's a woman who has a channel, and I think it's like Creole Mulatto, but she does a lot of posting of Louisiana
Oh,
history.
Creole Lady Marmalade.
There we go.
Mm.
Her. I
Huh. I don't
believe,
know if
well,
I heard
maybe,
it.
I don't know if it's her actually, but I know that there is, because I believe she has like mulatto in her name, in her YouTube name. Um, but as far as like who is hosting panels and who's having these open discussions, it definitely started with your channel page, and I'm just so excited to see you, back and re-engaging these conversations. I'm not sure if you've been active, and I'm just seeing, your page active for the first time in a while, but just good to see you. Good to see
I
you
appreciate
back.
it. Yeah, I've been trying to be a bit. I haven't really been. Well, I've been trying not to go on my like real long like absences that I, because there was a time where I had went almost like 2 years without doing anything.
Yeah. I think this is I think this is just so great. And like I said, centering around my project, I will launch my channel eventually. But I think that um and I'm definitely not pandering here. But I don't know if you all have seen like comments that people make, and they'll say like, I'm happy a man said it. But like, I'm happy that this conversation is being led by men. Because as I've mentioned, the other two channels and then even yours, Blasian, like it does give a lot of credibility to the conversation. And as I mentioned earlier, like I do foresee this community just expanding, and this enlightenment period happening more so with our group. And it's not to be divisive, like, because it's we go through stages. Like there's the rage, there's the fallout, because when you notice what is happening and what has been happening, and you start putting like language to it, it's the expectation, that there'll be some righteous indignation with that. But ultimately, I believe real resolution and change will come out of this, and we'll see that dynamism between MLS and the Black race change, because it definitely needs to change. When people's livelihoods are being impacted,
Oh yeah,
because
that too also becomes very problematic.
I mean, just because of downright prejudice, like I just it's a work for us to do. I don't know if it's a reckoning. I don't know if this is karma. There were pockets of American culture that ostracized Black people, once upon a time, and there was direct intention and efforts to advance the mixed race group of Americans here in this nation, specifically mulattoes. But as of course we've evolved as a people, um, we don't just look Black and white, right? So we just this we need to know how to work with the diversity within our race. Like I just we we and I think spaces like this definitely help with that.
Oh yeah, because hey, so somebody has to say it, somebody has to put it out there, and it does have, like I said before, and I'll say it again, it has to start somewhere.
For sure.
Again, I've been
Absolutely.
on YouTube for since what was it, either '07 or '08
Oh
at
wow.
that time. So I done seen a whole lot of phases happen
Yeah.
from this particular period and that particular period. Even though I never made content, but I was like, okay, I can watch this video and possibly I learned something out of it.
That's what's key
Mhm.
for it a lot of time.
And yeah, and when but then you did have some controversy come into play. It did.
Mhm.
And that controversy, like somebody actually did, yeah, there was a lot of people, even being their YouTube personas can, unfortunately, they can meet their untimely demise. And again, there's a lot of psychos, there's a lot of evil,
Yeah.
They do. Hey, they they exist.
Absolutely.
So
And
See,
oh, go ahead.
here we go.
really, oh my goodness. I'm just like,
So what is like, hey, but look, that like I said, that was like in the 07, 08 time frame.
wait a minute, were you talking about this then?
No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't making content
Okay,
at that
okay,
time.
okay.
Um, the reason why I got started originally was because I kept seeing the names of Anon and LSM,
Mm-hmm.
and at that time, I wasn't really going to their channels like that until the last minute. But then they deleted their channel,
Okay.
and
Oh, okay.
a lot of that, and a lot of people that was here, even before then, they would know more about that, what happened to them, and in the interaction and engagement they would participate in more so than I could. All I just know is, they were the ones who set the table.
Yeah, which is necessary. Um, well, don't be surprised if I reach out to you all um in the efforts of advancing, my project, What's in a Skin, and go from there.
Okay.
Um, I'm just happy that there's a foundation here. Um, definitely happy that there's a foundation here. And again, I'm encouraged by it, and it's just going to continue to grow and expand more and more.
Oh yes, most definitely, most
Oh yeah,
definitely.
we're just getting started.
Matter
Okay.
of fact, hell, and you know what though, in Brown and Beige, I gotta say this though, I didn't even really think you was gonna be going live today.
Yeah, I've been trying to do my lives like more structured. I'm gonna try to make sure that I have put like memos out in advance. Probably, but sometimes an important topic will just pop up out of nowhere, and I just feel like I just had to talk about it. With today being Nolan Wells' funeral, I felt like today was a good day to talk about.
And
Oh,
though, and another thing too is that, and it happened on what was it? His death happened on the 4th of July, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
mm-hmm.
yeah,
And this note, and I thought it was supposed to be Independence Day, but I guess we were all fed a whole bunch of wolf tickets even on Independence Day, America's birthday. And I know, and it's like I just started thinking, I was like, yo, I can't believe that we have really, did we really fall from grace like that? Like this?
Eh, you know, it's like no, we didn't. We certainly didn't fall from grace. It's just that we have to be conscientious um, of the reality of things that are a part of reality, and to talk about like post-traumatic stress. Um, okay, to talk about how, I want to use an example without losing anyone and like sounding too left field. I don't. I'm just gonna say it. Um, anybody who has any type of pedophilic stuff going on with them, right? There may be members of the community who believe that those people can be rehabilitated, and that could go out of them, and they never, they may have struck once and they will never strike again. All right. But would a parent, would it be wise for the parent to still let their children go around that person? even if that person, it's been years, it was a one-time thing. Like, do you understand where I'm going with this? Like,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's just like we
That
cannot
past
lose
that past
sight.
like
Yes,
you're
like
coming at it from the past behavior isn't always going to be future behavior.
is yeah, but it's like you got to still be cognizant of like, but
Yeah,
that was a, and it's just like wisdom. Now, obviously, when his parents sent him out that day, like they didn't anticipate that happening. Like they know they're these guys' parents, but there are some people, some black people who are taught with that awareness. Like, no, 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 you don't ever be the only one, and don't get too comfortable. Don't be too familiar. Like know when to go home.
you know though you know I'm glad you said that because part of me was thinking that earlier is that comfortability.
Yeah, like even in yeah, like but and didn't it show like they had an argument sometime before they had even went boating, like went further into the sea?
That I
That was
that wasn't brought to my attention that took place that they had an argument.
yeah, like that there was some sort of heated exchange. Um and he was only, what was he, only 18 years old or 20 years old? Super young. These are kids he grew up with, knew all of high school. He had a level of trust with them, but it's just like just use wisdom, use wisdom, and that's not even because of the racial makeup of the victim and the perpetrators, alleged whatever. It can be said that it's definitely racial, and that element is definitely there, but I would not there are black spaces I would not go into because of the foolishness that is so complacent within those environments. And there have been more drownings of black kids and even adults happening in the space of black friends and family foolishly pushing each other into the water on moving um boats, and laughing it off, but their family member or their loved one, their friend, is dead, and the shock doesn't happen until afterwards, like if it happens at all. So
Though, yeah, like
I mean, I know I kind of
the
just,
the priorities
yeah,
definitely can be definitely worked on a lot better.
I just think that, sometimes they real like we definitely can argue, yeah, race and, cruelty and like, that because this is certainly not the first, this is not an isolated incident. There have been several instances where there's been one black person amongst a group of a white friend group, and for whatever reason, well, we know for the reason, but that friend ends up dead, on a hike, on a sleepover, another water waterfront outing. So this is more so, it's very commonplace. So I just think that more and more we as a minority group of people, whatever spectrum we fall on, just have to use wisdom. Just really like don't ever be comfortable. It's just not wise. It's just not wise at this point. It's not a matter of fear. They're gonna win if we, no, it's not wise. It's not wise.
Yeah, right. And I get what you're saying. And then you'll get hit with those invariables that'll be so quick to say, oh, well, if you don't do this, then You don't go out. You're not expand. I'm like, it's not expanding.
No,
Why do I need to go out into the water with you to expand?
is that
Like
exactly.
I can expand from the confinements of my house.
Okay, or do it in a more organized
Yeah.
setting. Like once again, I don't have to have white friends to be interesting. I don't have to have it just go to me. I think some of that is there too. Like a lot of people still think white is the standard. A lot of black people still think like white is right. Like, or that you could only do things with white people to have some sort of
Good. Just to have a good time or do something like
oh
just.
my goodness.
See, here's the thing too, cause and I'm also tell another story too, cause my sister was recently was dating a white dude, and the and to make this a long story short, it got to the point to where we made it's like anyone that we come across, we make them look good,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
and
That's exactly what it is.
then that's where I also started thinking too that if I was gonna come on stream and talk about something, this will probably would be it. It's like, well, am I making them look good? It's like, well, you are who you are, and you do make people look good, but it's like, well, why are they looking good? Because they want to use me as a stepping stone, or are they being genuine about that?
Uh, I just, I just gleaning from. Because I want to, because in the case of like black versus everyone else, for sure, I can say, gleaning from the fact that here we make up so much of American culture, like our music, is the tempo for so much momentum, across industries. We are a huge source of entertainment, our entertainment here in this country, and internationally too, of course. Um, our our dress, our speech, um, I would say
Just the way that we carry ourselves.
just the way that we carry ourselves,
Right.
exactly. Like it's certainly like we help the non-black people feel more cultured and more worldly, if you will.
And though, and that's the thing too, is that again, when you have issues like this, right? Like you said, going back to that double-edged sword to where it becomes complicated, and then having, again, this dialogue or conversations that we're having now when it comes to it's one thing over here, but then those same group of people will automatically would just also turn around and just start directing their frustrations and hatred
Yeah.
on us. And I'm
Microaggressions.
like, how does that? It's like, how does that work?
People
I'm
don't despise the food, but they can very well despise the hand that is giving it to them. That is a real thing.
I'm like, yeah, I'm like, wouldn't that be okay? So you want to bite the hands?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You want to change. You wish you want to change the color of the hand,
Yeah,
and
and bite
that's and bite it for sure. Cut it off and prevent it from ever being able to extend out to feed anyone
Yeah.
else. But they've not been able to do that, and I
Or
think
in some cases, even copying
oh,
the hand.
for sure. Oh, we see that, and that shows itself in trying to reauthor our output. Culture Culture.
Oh yeah, and also with the whole oh, guess what, y'all? I'm as hey, guess what? I'm just as white as John Ritter, and I'm light skinned now, or I'm
Oh
black
my
as
God.
Michael Jordan, and I'm
I'm
light
mixed
skinned now. Like you also get that part being in these spaces too.
for sure.
And you talk about erasure at its or trying to
Mm-hmm.
erase. It's like, oh Lord,
Completely,
like,
completely, completely. And a lot of that is just human nature. It really is just human nature, some of it. Now, you got more natures that are more present in some groups than others. Um, like we've not been known to be a violent people for the most part. Historically, the African people, you know, we're not a docile people, but not a bloodshed and violence was not what we were known for. um the European is, in their conquest and colonization of other nations through force and violence. um and we
yeah.
just acquiesce.
We must just
uh
try to act accordingly, till it's time not to.
Indeed.
for sure.
But
So
but at the end of the day, I think that again, we all can just again possibly say, oh, what if, or what if this didn't happen, blah blah blah, and I mean, yeah, then that'll be another conversation worth having, or it'd be a different story to be told. I think people just want to have these stories being told that I'm the biggest, baddest bully on the planet, and nobody is not going to mess with me, and that will be your downfall.
nah. And
Well, in a sense, because nobody's invincible.
no,
No one is invincible.
no one is. And no one is. And it's of course I see it, just deeper than racial lines. And I think what's going to save us and what's going to help us is, again, having that sense of ownership. I think I like, and I'm certainly not making this conversation religious at all. Um, but we all have our own divinity. We are all, depending on what you believe. My belief is that my knowledge of life is that we are all made in the image of God. And God did not give one more of his image than he gave another group. And I think where we fall short as a people, um, is just not understanding that. Like, not understanding that. And we become prey to other people who do understand that. Their advantage is they have a knowledge and they're operating in a knowledge that you're not tapping into. And you become a victim of your own ignorance as a result of that. How many times do we hear of white kids dying in Black friend groups? And we do know, and this can realistically happen. And I'm sure it has happened. We just don't hear about it. But we do know in hoods where there are white and non-Black kids who want to follow YNs into the drive-bys shootings, whether we know these people personally or not, but we can fathom this scenario. So, I mean, that doesn't hit media. We don't see that often, but that has certainly happened. But do you think that if it happened once, like even if it didn't happen, like white families would know, like, no, mark or whatever. Like, even though we may be living amongst them, like, I don't want you getting lost and caught up with them.
And though, and I hear you, because trust me, like, even where I live, it's constant like that on a regular basis.
Okay, then. So, right.
So,
I
and
think
oh, go ahead.
I think it happens a lot more in like if
Then
you
we
go in
know.
more like rural places.
But so those white people's family who are not on board with that, they're not being racist for telling their white child, like, no, you don't need to be hanging around them. You don't, because they see impending danger, and they know that when shit hits the fan, you're going to get targeted by their ops.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be you don't get privilege in those groups. You're going to go down. And
Then
their street politics.
it also go down to, well, then it also be, well, was it, a racial attack, or was it a class attack? Because again, we also gotta take class in consideration too. That,
Absolutely.
because again, like, now I'm not saying that there are people that live in upscale neighborhoods that don't do things that people that live in low income areas do. Sure, it happens. But is there any real scientific data behind that, though, as to why that is? Because if so, these type of people would be prevented, or would be.
Well, yeah, and you know what? In a real world scenario, how that looks like, border border patrol, excess measures to keep certain people out who some people believe to be the perpetrators of certain things and elements, i.e., drugs and more crime and acts of violence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, wow. And I'm like, so I guess
That's what that
MLS
looks
people just
like.
gotta be on our P's and Q's.
To be honest, I had a very interesting experience, y'all, years ago here in Georgia, of course. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Stone. Where are y'all at, by the way?
I'm up in Washington State.
Okay, so you're out
I'm in
west.
Wisconsin.
Okay, out west, out west. Oh, I'm okay. That's cool. I think somebody put in the chat that those were recommended places. No, Wisconsin was not
No,
recommended.
Wisconsin's not.
It was not
even
recommended.
even though he's not that far from Illinois in a certain place.
Okay. Oh gosh. Okay, so interestingly enough, um I have been in I don't know how this happened, but it just came and went when it comes to white supremacy here, and it certainly still has its representation. And even though like Confederate heritage is something that's like upheld here, like I hiked one of the state mountains this past weekend, and they were doing a reenactment of the Civil War.
Really?
Yes, on the grounds, a state operated and funded park. And that's very commonplace here in Georgia. So one day in Stone Mountain, I don't know what convention had just let out. It was not, broadcasted or anything, but it was a Confederate convention. And I drove into a parking lot full of Confederate flagged vehicles and motorbikes.
Oh no.
At a hotel. At a hotel that I was spending the night at. And I was just like, oh my gosh, should I leave? Should I go? I didn't leave, but that was, I call that like my run in. with white supremacy.
Yeah, it's like we were saying, the South is just. I wouldn't really recommend the South to us, to be
Wow.
honest.
Someone said in the chat, I know of Harrison Road. Yes, exactly. In that area. In that area. Um, the South is, as a light-skinned Black person, it's been communally, it's definitely given me a new outlook and perspective, of really the colorist experience in our race, for sure.
And I was,
Yes.
I was saying earlier that originally, I'm originally from Texas, but I grew up here.
Okay. Okay.
And so when you probably heard which one of the places is to avoid, and I said Texas was one of them.
I can see, I can see that after spending a year in Houston, but it really just depends. So and I guess also depending on what your racial or ethnic makeup is, as an MLS person, um, I'm kind of shocked because I thought those places did have more densely MLS populations.
Oh, and in Texas or where I'm at
In
now.
part, in certainly in parts of Texas,
Well, I can agree
but
on that.
for sure in Washington, I assumed.
Oh yeah, I know in Houston. I know in Houston there's definitely definitely a population of them.
More Hispanics. No,
Yeah.
it was not really, did not see many mixed race people at all. And really didn't see like a lot of light skinned people either.
Oh wow. So
You
I
were
guess
either Mexican or Black, and I really was like, probably I can count the number of white people that I actually met in Houston.
well, I know. Hey, I know in Washington State there's a ton of them.
For sure. I imagine. But is it how have you all, um has the contention been, with the greater society of white people, or other minorities, or the Black people, like here in Atlanta, like my contention is with the greater racial group of Black people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
for where you all are at in Wisconsin and in Washington, where does that contention take place with you all?
Um, I would say it all. Look, where I'm from, it all depends like which area you go. Where I'm at is very, very segregated. So if you go to like certain parts, it's Black people are pretty much on one side, and white people are pretty much on the other side. It, so whichever location you are, that's more or less where you're gonna have your run-ins. And
Okay, with other Black people, or
yeah, yeah.
okay, okay,
Oh, and for me, because where I live is it's Thurston County,
hmm
and I live like not too far from a Indian reservation.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
but the way that but even with the Indian reservation and how they got it set up here is it's a little awkward, but at the same time, again, they're not like the Oklahoma uh, type of Indians,
okay.
meaning that you would have to not only be from the tribe but also know the language.
Okay. Are they really segregated, like those reservations? Are they like really out the way from like the metro area, or they're kind of like a part of like the regular populace?
They're kind of like they're kind of separate.
Okay.
Like they all just they're not gonna necessarily just link up in one batch.
Okay. Okay.
Now places like, let's say, like if I would say which would be metropolitan enough. I know Tacoma, yeah, Tacoma is definitely one, and then you also have Seattle.
Okay. So the contention for you, is it with other minority groups, or is it with the greater Black race where, the community is lacking? What's your take?
Mm, well, you know what? Even though it's still is a little bit diverse, but there's like probably more of a mixture than there are, let's say, just one particular monoracial group.
Did he drop?
Did I?
No, I'm back. So
Oh,
I
okay.
pressed the wrong button.
But yeah, though but that's get pretty much like my thing too. That it's a more mix of more mixed a mixture of folks here from different groups in different parts of the world. But where I'm at, it's more military based because a lot of people that move up here is all because they had a family member that was in the military, so they chose to settle.
Okay. I'm so sorry, AMR, because as soon as you begin talking, the audio dropped and I could not hear anything that you said.
Oh
So
wow.
I just came back into the chat. I'm so sorry. That's the second time that's happened to me too, but while being on the panel.
Yeah, StreamYard after a certain
Yeah, I'm
time.
like, yeah. See, StreamYard don't want us to be great. Don't want you to be great.
Doesn't want me to be great. But what did you? I came back in when you were saying that where you are, you're near a military base.
Hmm. As well as an Indian reservation.
And yes, and an Indian reservation.
I bet you that's an interesting commute.
That's got to be very interesting.
Hey, but don't get me wrong. It's not necessarily it's not exactly like a ride down the street though. You still gonna have to travel some miles.
So the real wants to know, AMR, how the Samoans interact with the MLS or FBAs in the Seattle area.
Oh, it's all good. But you know what though? See, and that's also another misconception that people have that yes, we do have also an Asian a big Asian population, and it's not necessarily just one particular Asian group of culture. There's your regular Asians, your Pacific Islanders, your Middle Eastern folk. There's some they all pretty much get along well, but then every now and then you may have a conflict.
I'm curious to know from RTGP 2.0 if you are a part of the MLS community, because not because you said you love the South. I love the South too. I just dislike it for the reasons I mentioned, which is just social cultural issues, but it's a lovely place. Otherwise,
It's debatable.
I mean, like I said, otherwise, I like it. I'm the outdoors type, so I love it for the abundance of activity it avails to those who are like me. But it's
Okay,
no
so
need.
you're not necessarily also near Bankhead, right?
No. I'm not in that area at
Oh,
all. Like, so I'm not in the city of Atlanta. But I am close to it, very close. But I'm in like I'm in like a small. I'm on the city line of the city of Atlanta and DeKalb County. I'm just a hop, skip, and jump from the city, so I'm
So does
familiar
it?
with those areas.
So does Atlanta have like a lot of studios and like a lot of companies
Oh,
that are
Atlanta
there?
for sure. Like Atlanta has our leading industry is agriculture, so it's still Georgia, right? But Atlanta itself um, is a hub for IT professionals, healthcare professionals, um, academia professionals, professors, researchers. You're gonna, I mean, art and entertainment. Any, really any industry um, has a place here in just this small city alone. Now you're gonna get the amount of those industries like in varying amounts, but there's representation for like almost every industry here for sure.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Alrighty, alrighty. Yeah, I think. Oh, Duluth. What is it? Duluth, Georgia.
Duluth. Duluth is what? Is Duluth in Gwinnett? Is that a city in Gwinnett?
Oh dang! Oh damn! I didn't know you had that going on the real.
Cops harassed my sister. Oh, on it. Really? They just wanted to clap or give her a hard time looking for what she never had in her own. Oh, that's really interesting. The cab cops are known to be like kind of like not the weakest, but you can speed in the cab without getting a ticket. I'm surprised. But sorry that that's been her experience
Yeah,
for sure.
and so do you ever come across like let's say a lot of a lot of let's say Georgia entertainers or who may have had some Tyler Perry experiences?
Oh my goodness. So it is commonplace to see local, like the entertainers who are from here, and then like the B-list celebrity who are your reality TV stars. Who I've seen most coming and going, in regular parts of the city has been Young Jock.
Okay. Oh,
Um, yeah, he had a studio, close to where I lived when I first came here during my earlier years. But he was also really popular at that time too. So he had a lot more visibility. Um, he has been who I have seen the most. I'm trying to think who else have I just seen in passing. Again, more another reality TV star who just had like um seconds of fame, um who was Scrap. Like he just had like a small moment on Love and Hip Hop.
oh,
But
okay.
as far as like the housewives,
Atlanta
I
or
don't
Miami?
see them out. I've probably seen
Atlanta.
Rashida um by virtue of just going to her store that she did have at Phipps Plaza. It's no longer there. Um, but yeah, it's very common to see those entertainers, but it doesn't feel like it's not a big shock value because everybody here feels like whether you're an influencer or you are in entertainment, people here in Atlanta tend to have a strong sense of importance, self-importance. So
I
it's
can
not
imagine.
like it's not a big deal at all. Like
Well, you know what
when
though,
we do see
and
these
that's the
people.
thing too. Speaking of influencers, because
Yes, Duluth
when
is
I'm
in
not,
Gwinnett. Are you all able to hear me still?
oh yeah,
Yeah, I can.
Oh,
and
okay.
when because normally if I'm not necessarily let's say doing this, then Oh, okay. I take it that she must have dropped down for a bit. Because I was
Yeah,
gonna say, hey, I also like the YouTube couples.
Oh, that you see in Atlanta.
Yeah, and
Oh yeah.
there was one couple that I think they moved out of Atlanta, and I guess they went to maybe Florida, I think,
Okay.
and that their names was Say and Jay.
Say and Jay.
Yeah,
oh yeah, I've heard of them. I've heard of them.
I'm not familiar with them. But no, Atlanta. Like I said, I won't even go as far as to say I love the South. I will say I do love. I love Atlanta. I think Atlanta has been great to me, beyond some of the underwhelming experiences I have had pertaining to my my identity, in relation to the greater Black community. But that aspect aside, it's still a really wonderful place, and it's a great place whether you're single, whether you are starting a family, whether you're coupled. It is still a wonderful place to be, wherever you fall into.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Never, again, never, again, never looked at, never saw that either. Or well, now I was
Really? Have
yeah.
you all have you and if you and I'm sorry because streamer kicked me out again, so I just had to reload to get back in. Have Beige or you, AMR, have you all spent time here at all? Like visited or lived here?
I have not, unfortunately.
Really? Is Wisconsin home?
Yeah, I've been to Wisconsin,
Okay.
Chicago countless times, Indiana,
Okay.
Indiana, been to Missouri a few couple times,
Oh yeah. Okay. Midwest
Oklahoma.
through and through.
Um, Mississippi too many times to count.
Okay.
Never been to Georgia or Alabama though. It's been on
Okay.
my bucket list.
Alabama on your bucket list. I'm encourage you to just scratch now. No, I'm just kidding. To each his own. To each his own. But no, for sure Georgia. For sure Atlanta. And there's some Minnesotans that live. As a matter of fact, I have a coworker who's from Minnesota. A very wonderful lady.
Okay. But nah, though. But for me, I've never been to Atlanta ever. Never stepped foot in the state of Georgia. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I've been to, again, Washington
Yeah, I
State.
heard about
Yeah,
that
there's
too.
Washington State. There's California, Oregon, Memphis. Well, Tennessee, Oklahoma,
Okay.
Portland, Maine. Um,
It's so interesting that
almost been all over, and I've also been to Kansas and the state of Missouri and Chicago.
okay,
So,
Georgia.
I wouldn't recommend Chicago to anyone.
You wouldn't? I can
No.
understand that. I can understand that. I just if we are if we are saying, yeah, especially like for the sake of the shared experience or displeasure and where we are, in this interracial dynamic with the greater community right now, yeah, I don't want to do I don't I'm not interested in being in another chocolate city for the sake of being in our spaces again. I'm so, like I said, I'm over the hype. I'm over the hype. So Chicago for sure now. um but that's really interesting. That's really interesting. You all are in very diverse places too. Really highly diverse places. Someone in the chat mentioned that Seattle has a large Japanese population.
I definitely heard of that. Jimmy Toussaint wants to know AMR whenever I see him, but he's with a white woman. Do you see that, AMR?
He may
Let's see.
he may have to re-enter the chat because it sounds like he may be kicked out. Paige, are you still able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
AMR, are you there? I guess he must be having technical difficulty. See the real. I think I've been on here too long. Now we start again.
I know that's our cue. It's midnight, but that'll let you know we gotta see you more. Gotta come back. Do this again.
Oh yeah, definitely going to be doing it more.
The real said he looked like Sebastian. I was just gonna ask him if he was Asian, but I recall him saying he looks like Sebastian.
And Asian. Wow.
That's funny. Well, it's been great, fellas. And again, Paige, welcome back. Certainly look forward to seeing a lot more from you. And I will certainly be in touch. I may send you a direct message if I can do that here on YouTube. But I'm still one of your subscribers, hence obviously how I am here in the chat today. But it's been good. You have a good night.
Oh, you too. I appreciate you for stopping in. I appreciate the support, most definitely.
Absolutely. Okay, take care.
You too.
Okay.
Oh, my bad. I missed anything?
No, I'm about to get ready to shut it down. You did miss the real said that he's an Asian type dude.
Oh yeah, hey, but he is spot on about they do have a lot of Asian stores, grocery stores that is, as well as Japanese population, especially in the Seattle area.
But I appreciate you guys for joining. This is probably one of the more funner streams I had in a while.
Yeah, most definitely.
We had some laughs.
And though not, and I'm gonna keep harping back on this, and I don't know why, but just be aware of them Felice Johnsons out there.
But anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys for joining. And keep a lookout because I got a video coming out real soon.
Sure, can't wait to check it out, man.